Alright, so this is going to be a very quick video for you today, guys. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be testing how well does the new Walksnail Ascent Lite Plus air unit camera work in the dark, or at least in low light. Obviously on my channel I have been reviewing a whole load of sort of like night vision FPV cameras over the last year or so, and a few people when I posted my review of this a couple of days ago, they asked how well does it work in the dark, so I figured let's come out and find out. Now, I'm not expecting this to work amazing. For one, it's a very tiny lens on this camera. It's only about 8mm, I think, so it's not going to be able to gather very much light. And two, Caddx have never advertised that this camera is any good in the dark, so I'm not expecting it to be amazing. Although that said, before the system was released, Caddx did actually send me a video of them testing it in a low light, and it seemed to be pretty good. So I figured let's just come out and have a go. As you can see, I'm in a local park. The sun set probably about 45 minutes ago. As you can see, it's starting to get quite dark, and I've got like street lights and stuff coming on here. It's not fully dark yet by any means, but it's certainly getting pretty dark enough that I need to have a torch on. But yeah, let's get this up in the air. This is my HDLRC My 5.5-inch race quad. I'm just going to fly it around the park a little bit, do a little bit of a circuit, and then we'll see how we get on with it. Enough rambling though, let's get the goggles on and then let's get this up in the air and see how we get on with it. I'll tell you straight away, the picture actually looks quite good in here. Arm the drone, let's get her up in the air. Yeah, the picture actually looks quite good. I mean, at the moment I'm flying directly in the direction of the sunset. The ISO is certainly high, the image is a little bit sort of grainy, which is to be expected. And yeah, the floor there is looking a little bit mushy as I'm flying, which again is just a sign of sort of like low light. But I've got no problem seeing where I'm going here. And as you can see, I'm flying around these gates here. Absolutely no problem at all. And the image in the goggles here, it actually appears brighter than it does to my eye. Obviously you have to take my word for that, but what I can see in the goggles at the moment is more than I can see with my naked eye. It's really quite impressive for a camera that's this small. I should just say I'm not a particularly good race quad pilot. If you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I mostly fly fixed wing. So race quads aren't really where my skill set is at, but we're doing alright. Got no problem seeing where I'm going. The image is, like I said, it's quite mushy. I guess that's because, obviously it's getting darker. The shutter speed has had to increase to allow more light to come in, and that obviously allows for a bit of motion blur. So yeah, the floor is looking a little bit sort of mushy, a bit smeary here. But yeah, I've got absolutely no problem sort of flying around this little track I've got here, sort of flying through these goalposts. I can clearly see where it is that I'm trying to go. Absolutely no issues. I really actually am quite impressed with how well it's working. Bear in mind how small that camera is. Let's just climb up a little bit. Hopefully get a bit of a scope of how sort of dark it is, because as you see the city lights are very much illuminated here. It's very much the beginning of night time. Yeah, this is working really quite well. I am really quite impressed with how well it's working. I don't think we're going to be able to sort of fly when it gets a whole lot darker, but we will find out, because I will land the quad in a minute, and then I'll wait sort of like another 10-15 minutes for it to get a little bit darker, and then we'll take it up again. I would point out there's a goalpost in front of me here, but I can't see it. I can just about see it now. Oh. Yeah, as I was flying towards that goalpost, it was getting quite hard to see. So obviously those details are getting lost, obviously as it's getting darker. Certainly at this point though, 45, probably about 50 minutes now since the sunset, still very clearly see where I'm going. I'm really quite impressed. Do one more sort of circuit here, and then I'll bring it into land. Oh, a little bit close there. Like I said, I'm not the best race squad pilot. Yeah, see what I mean here, look, as I'm flying over here, we know there's a goalpost here, but it's only when it kind of gets silhouetted against the sky you can see it. Prior to that, it was actually quite hard to see that was there, wasn't it? Let me just go around here so we can sort of have another look at it. Yeah, it's not the easiest to see now, it's starting to get darker. Also got ghost branches and stuff around here as well. Yeah, thoroughly impressed with the camera's ability to operate in this level of light. Like I said, it is getting pretty dark at the moment. But let's land the quad. Oh wow, it got dark just whilst I was in there. Land the quad, and then what we'll do is we'll wait sort of about another sort of 10, maybe 15 minutes for it to get a little bit darker, and then we'll try again. Okay, so it's now actually probably about 20 minutes later. As you can see, it's now got very, very dark here. It's so dark that I can't read where it says, you know, Radio Master on my radio without the use of a light. Yeah, it's very, very dark here. Let's now get the quad back up in the air and see how well we get on. I'm not expecting this to work very well, but we will certainly try. Straight away I can tell the image in the goggles is nowhere near as good as what it was 20 minutes ago. Get the quad up in the air. Straight away, the first thing I can tell you is it's very hard to tell where the ground is. Really hard to tell where the ground is. I didn't even realise then I climbed so high. Just about make out the this first goalpost here. Ooh, nearly hit the ground all the way through. Ooh, I've gone way too high for the second one. See if we can skim through. Yes, we did. I can't even see the third one. Oh, there it is. Yeah, not surprisingly, I am very much struggling now. It is very, very dark out here. It's not fully dark. I mean, you can kind of tell from this image here, like the sun is still setting. I know this post is here, but I just can't quite. Oh, we made it. Just about made it. Yeah, the image is basically on the verge of being unusable now. I'm really struggling to see. So I know there's another. Whoa, nearly hit it then. Yeah, really struggling to see the ground, really struggling to see the gates. So yeah, it's about an hour since sunset. I think that we can sort of say that, you know, the system doesn't work. Oh, hit the ground. It doesn't work when it's this dark. Let's take up a little bit higher though. Look out across the city. So certainly if you're flying a fixed wing right now, you'd have absolutely no problem. It's only when you're flying a quad and, you know, you're trying to do proximity that it's a bit too dark. But yeah, certainly for a fixed wing, I think you can fly a little bit longer. And like the biggest problem with flying a fixed wing in the dark is the landing. Obviously being able to see the ground, which I absolutely can't at the moment. I'm still able to navigate well enough I can fly around these trees though. But yeah, if you're flying a fixed wing, you have no problem flying it, but the landing would probably be a bit of a mission. But that said, if you're flying a VTOL, you know, where you don't actually have to sort of like do a proper landing, you can just do a vertical takeoff and landing, I think this would probably work quite well. You'd probably be able to fly maybe another sort of like 10-15 minutes if you were flying a VTOL. So yeah, so nothing surprising here. Like I said, this camera isn't advertised as being a night vision camera by any means, but I think certainly, considering the size of that lens on there, actually does work pretty well. I'm going to bring it into land now though, because I really can't see where I'm going very well at all. Disarmed. God, it got so dark just in those couple of minutes I was doing that. Yeah, pretty impressed with it, you know, for what it is. Very, very small camera, but its ability to see the dark, really not actually that bad. I think certainly if you want to fly sort of after sunset in that twilight phase, the system's perfectly capable of it. But yeah, it's not a night vision camera. It's not one designed for actually flying in the dark. Anyway, that's all I've got for you in today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. As always, if you have, please do give it a like, and I will catch you in the next one. Cheers guys, bye.